Are you ready to increase your effectiveness? If so, today we're diving into a habit that has been scientifically proven to help make a difference in that category. What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of Fast and Focus. I'm Zach Matthews, and you are watching episode 4 of our 10 Transformative Habits for Health and Success series. Today, we're going to be talking about how writing down goals can generate intentionality into our daily lives. Over the next 10 weeks, we're exploring small but mighty habits that will transform your life. And in this episode specifically, we're going to unlock the remarkable power of setting goals by writing them down. You do not want to miss this. Okay, so as we get started here, I want to kick things off with a fascinating study that was done at Harvard University back in 1979 that I feel like really emphasizes the power of writing down goals, and quite honestly, why I consider it such a transformative habit that we need to be prioritizing in our daily lives. So for a little context here, back in 1979 at Harvard University, there was apparently a group of professors and researchers that wanted to know if there was a connection between people that wrote down goals and, whether or not they saw more success than people that didn't write down goals at all. Basically, did having a plan for your goals, did that lead to more success down the line? So the way they figured out that they were going to, kind of gather those results is they were going to ask everybody that walked that year in graduation the same question, and then they'd pull the results. So the question they asked everybody that walked and graduated that year in 1979 at Harvard was, have you set and written goals and a plan for their attainment? And so these are the results that they came across as they asked those questions to everybody that graduated. 84% of them had not set any goals at all. Again, this is Harvard University we're talking about, one of the most prestigious institutions in the nation, and these kids aren't setting any goals. So 84% of them had not set any goals at all. 13% of them had goals, but no plan, had not written down a plan to, kind of manifest those things. And only 3%, this blows my mind to this day, is only 3% had written down goals and a plan to manifest them. Only 3%. And here's what's crazy about that. So a couple of years later, maybe a decade or so later, I don't know when they did it exactly, but those same researchers wanted to find out if there was in fact a connection to the success that those people saw based on whether they had written down their goals or not. So they decided, we're going to follow back up with all those people, or as many people as we can find, and then we're going to see, how much they get paid. They wanted to basically quantify success based on how much a person got paid. And so they found that the 13%ers, the people in the middle slot there that had goals but no written plan, they made twice as much as the 84%ers, which are the people that had no goals at all. Okay, they made twice as much as the 84%ers. Here's what's crazy: the 3%ers, only 3% of the graduating class of 1979 at Harvard University, those people that had goals and a written plan, they made 5 times more than the average of the 13%ers, the ones that had goals but hadn't written them down. All they did differently was write down a plan, and they all walked at the same time. So it's not like the 3%ers had any more knowledge or understanding of what their life was going to include when they set that plan. No, they just wrote down what they thought would be a good plan, and they followed it, and obviously it led to more success because they made 5 times more than the ones with goals but no plan at all. So that just, again, that I want you to see, and as you can see, writing down goals is a game changer, right? It just leads to more focus, more motivation, and more success for you as you go down that journey of self-improvement. Now, it's important to point out that your effectiveness with the goals that you set is not necessarily all about putting pen to paper. Believe me, I wish it were that easy, but it's not. It's actually more about the way that you go about setting your goals and writing down the details of the outline that you follow. So I want to give you some tips here that I feel like can really elevate your goal setting and therefore lead to more effectiveness as you seek them out and act on them. So first and foremost is to get smart with it. Prioritize SMART goals, in other words. So SMART is obviously an acronym, and it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Those are all metrics that you should follow to make sure that you're setting the right goals and niching them down so that you have an established plan. If you guys are not familiar with the SMART goal concept, or it's been a while and you need to be reminded, look in the description of this video below, and there's a link to a separate episode of Fast and Focus where I broke down SMART goals line by line. All right, number 2 on our tips of setting goals is to prioritize consistency. So just understanding the importance of your daily commitment, and this is really why I stress the small wins to our clients as well, is because as James Clear said in his book Atomic Habits, all you need to do when you set goals and become who you want to become is just, first of all, figure out who you want to become, and then second of all, prove it to yourself with small wins. So prioritize consistency helps you prioritize those small wins. And then number 3 is to just categorize your goals. This is something that I lay out in my book, Climbing Your Self-Discipline Tree, and I talk about it in the form of a personal priority list is what I call it. So it's just a great way to categorize your goals in one of 3 categories that I give, which is personal, professional, or family. I feel like those are 3 great categories that help you understand what you're prioritizing in your life and making sure that you have established goals that are worth pursuing in all 3 categories, because let's be honest with ourselves, those 3 categories are the most important 3 categories in our entire lives. So these are the great tips that I feel like you should follow and really understand the path that you're going to take to get there. That can lead to more effectiveness in your goal setting, whether it be writing down your goals or just creating the goals in the first place. Now, as the old cliche goes, Rome was not built in a day, and quite honestly, if your goals are worth pursuing, they're probably going to take a little while for you to flesh out. Some of you guys, maybe you've had the goals in your head for a while, and now it's just a matter of putting pen to paper and using the SMART goal setting method to really dwindle down what you want to accomplish and define how you're going to do that. But some of you guys might be in the category of just not knowing what goals are out there for you or what you're even interested in which case you need to find a little more inspiration. It's going to take a little more time for you to get there. But I think the best method of inspiration is just allowing yourself to, go to that place every single day for even 5 to 10 minutes and allow yourself to set some goals, or just write down, some things in a journal of what you might be interested in, or, what makes you feel most alive. Those kinds of questions naturally will help you connect the dots over the next, couple days, couple weeks, and then you will have some goals that you want to use and use the SMART goal setting method to define them a little more. So that's my challenge to you guys for this episode, and kind of my call to action, if you will. I'm going to challenge you guys to give yourself 5 minutes every single day for the rest of the week to just write down some goals, write down some things that interest you, write down some things that inspire you, times when you feel most alive, what you're doing when that happens, what your why is for setting these goals that you have in your head. Just get them out into the world, speak them out to other people. Don't keep them in your head anymore, because as you saw in the Harvard study, those 84%ers that didn't set any goals and the 13%ers that had goals but it never brought them into existence, they suffered for not doing so. The 3%ers, the one that had goals and had written them down and had spoken them into existence in this world that we live in, they are the ones that saw 5 times the results of the other 2 categories. So what I want to encourage you with as well is just to set your first goal, okay? 5 to 10 minutes, set your first goal, and then see where that takes you from there. And I want to encourage you guys as well that whatever results you see, I want you guys to leave it in the comments below, so that people that see this video down the line, or they start to come across the SMART goal setting method, they'll be inspired and motivated as well to follow that daily goal setting routine of just 5 minutes to yourself to project and understand where you want to go. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Fast and Focus. If you found this episode valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you can be updated anytime a new episode drops. And as we learned in this episode, your journey to success begins with a single goal that was pinned with intention. So keep pushing forward, ladies and gentlemen. Stay resilient and focus on the journey ahead.